Welcome back, everyone. We're on our new two-week system. So this week, I thought that I would have a picnic, and things kind of spiraled. To set the scene, AJ got me this beautiful book of Victorian book of cakes, and I've just been dying to make this little number on the cover. And then I thought, why just have a Victorian cake when I could have a Victorian picnic? And then I thought, why would I not invite some friends to my Victorian picnic? And then I thought, I would like to have an aesthetic picnic that is like Victorian inspired, but with rococo influences, like as if I was like a Victorian having a rococo themed picnic at that time. Does that make sense? When I'm not like looking at cakes and researching food stuff, one of my other like biggest hobbies is historical fashion, historical costume, historical dress. Like I love that. I eat it up. And I particularly am fond of the like Victorian Edwardian period. I've done previous art projects on like Victorian mourning practices, outfits, cultures. It's just so interesting to me. So once I got the Victorian Book of Cakes, there was no stopping me. I started researching Victorian picnics. Okay, so I did some research on Victorian picnics, and then I started doing research about picnics, honestly. Picnics became like a real thing in the like 1850s, mid 18th century. And I was kind of curious about that because there's also a lot of art from that period depicting picnics. Like, what's the naked one? Other ones. Also like medieval, Middle Ages hunting parties. The upper class would literally make their servants carry like heavy like furniture and rugs and silverware and fine crystal, and in the middle of their hunting party they would have like a feast in the woods, which beautiful, exquisite, terrible for everybody except the wealthy. So crazy. And then in the 18th century, because of industrialization, you have like that growing middle class, and they want to be able to do something nice, but they can't travel, can't go anywhere. So you spend a day outside doing your thing. Oh, fun. And there was actually like paper plates and paper napkins invented during that period. So we can use that. So that'll be a lot easier than dragging the china that I don't own to the park. So the menu, we have rose lemonade. I'm just gonna buy Minute Maid and add rose water. Lavender shortbread and gingersnaps, scones. I'm gonna make a Victoria sponge, tea sandwiches, and then this baby, which is actually called a Charlotte ecosaisse. Wait, I know it. Ecosaisse, Charlotte ecosaisse. It's very similar to a Charlotte Russe or a Russian Charlotte, which is a very popular French patisserie dessert. So it's a Bavarian cream or a gelatinized mousse that is cooked in, well, it's not cooked, it's set in a Charlotte mold that has been lined with sponge fingers, and then you just plop that out. This is slightly different. I'm gonna be decorating the outside. Usually the sponge fingers are left plain, but these are gonna be decorated. So I'm going to be creating the mold, and then I'll just be adhering the sponge fingers to the outside. The book says it will work. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm also going to be setting the Charlotte with agar and carrageenan instead of gelatin so that it's vegetarian. I don't know if it's going to work. It might just sploosh into a big like goop pile. In this video, we're gonna just focus on me making the Charlotte, and then maybe I'll make the sandwiches because I've made the Victoria sponge in a previous video, which I'll link here and down here. And I've made scones before, and everybody hated that video, by which I mean nobody watched it. So go watch that. You can hate watch it if you want. People, I don't know. Imagine like being able to eat gluten and just buy ladyfingers. Buy things. Shit must be crazy. Okay, so some of the sponge batter will go into here for the Victoria sponge. 6-inch pan for this, so 6-inch charlotte instead of an 8-inch charlotte. And then the rest of the batter will go into the sponge fingers that will surround the dish. And this will go in it. And I'm gonna weigh these two because you're gonna be able to see them. It's about 30 more grams. Okay, I'm gonna pop these in and then we can pipe the fingies. Wish them luck. Next, we're gonna make, how much does this hold? Firstly, made in USA, 10 something cup capacity. Okay, this is how much liquid we have to set. And I'm gonna put some coconut cream in there. That's great, that'll be fine. Okay, so blend this. Strawberries going in. I just think it's better than no flavor, right? Plain. 2 egg yolks. I have this wild idea where I'm gonna set it with half agar, half carrageenan. What do we think? I'm gonna try to get like the creamy stuff. There's some. The very Victorian act of using your Vitamix. I'm adding hot pink. Okay, I have to boil this for 5 minutes. There we go. The sponge fingers in the oven look amazing. I made a mig mistake. I've
made a huge mistake.
I made a big mistake blending this at such a high speed because there's a lot of foam on top now, but it is slowly coming to a boil. And we're going to make the shortbread cookie dough to put in the fridge so it can kind of chill before it bakes. 2 cups of flour. My mom is Scottish. She immigrated from Scotland when she was like 5 or 6. So shortbread is big in our family. 1/3 cup of cornstarch. Cornstarch is key. It just makes it melt in your mouth. Just don't question my measuring skills. I'm a professional. Okay, 1/3 cup. I measured it into the measuring cup in the bowl, okay? Okay. Okay. I like to add, oh wow, that's good TV, isn't it? Well, it's boiling. That's good. Okay, so if that doesn't boil over, what I was saying was I like to add a tiny pinch of baking powder to my shortbread. Gluten-free shortbread only. Okay, and then we're gonna add half a teaspoon of xanthan gum. And a teaspoon salt. Did you notice that while I was doing damage control, our little fingies came out of the oven? So we're gonna mix this, and then I'm gonna add to this mixture a teaspoon of dried lavender. I just went to the health food store, and with the herbs and teas, they have dried lavender. So I buy it in bulk. And then what I like to do before I put it in is crush it between my fingers so that it releases some of the oils. And it kind of breaks it up a little bit too. Oh, look, it's happening again. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Oh, the true chaos of my life. Okay, pour away from you onto your phone. Come on, Lauren. Before I put this in the fridge, I'm just gonna keep it behind me so that it can cool off. I don't wanna put it right into the fridge because it's gonna make it really wet in there. I'll clean this up in a second, I swear. It's too hot to handle. It's too hot to handle. Do you guys watch that show? Now we need 14 tablespoons of butter, which is 2 sticks with 2 tablespoons cut off. If I was using my stand mixer, then I would just blend this up, but I'm just gonna cut the butter in with my fingers and then I'll stir it. And there's actually no added moisture to this. It's just the butter and the flour and sugar. Our cakes are almost done. I forgot they were lavender shortbread and I was like, this smells like lavender, wow. So you just wanna like crumble it together with your hands. And tomorrow I will roll these out and bake them. Okay, our 6-inch cake is ready. It is way too tall. I should have used all this batter to make these fingers, which I'm gonna have to make more of. We have our little fingers, which will go around the sides. And we have our cake, we have we have our giant mess to clean up, and our this is shortbread. So I will see you later and or tomorrow. Okay, so while things are setting in the fridge, we are going to discuss outfits and like overall picnic design. So I'm really inspired by like the paintings of Victorian picnics, obviously. Movies like Picnic at Hanging Rock, even like Regency picnics, like the picnic in Emma, which our meme mom, Karolina Zabrowska, I don't speak Polish, posted recently. And then as far as like the rococo influences that I want to do, it's more like Marie Antoinette's fake farm and just like very bastardized rococo, like a Victorian interpretation of rococo, not accuracy. We're not going for accuracy, we're going for like spectacle, okay? I don't know. I think it's gonna work. So as far as like picnic design, I want everything to be very light and fluffy and frothy and feminine, just to contrast the like outdoorsiness, right? So I've got like this beautiful crocheted linen, and I've got a couple more like this. I'm just gonna bring like flowers and little tchotchkes that like have no place being at a picnic. And then for outfit, I did some research, obviously, about what one would wear to a Victorian picnic. And what I read said to check the thermometer, barometer, and the geography of the place where you will be having your picnic. So I am going to have to walk a kilometer in like 31 degree, 70% humidity. So I've decided to go even looser with my interpretation. Originally, I have this like Edwardian Victorian 70s revival dress, but it is 100% polyester, and so I will simply be soup if I wear it. So plan B is like Victorian underthings. So I've got this like petticoatish skirt that I thrifted in Japan. I have this knockoff Vivienne Westwood corset, and this like could be a 19th century corset cover. So I think if I put all those together, it's gonna like read how I want it to read. I've got some hats, but I'm gonna get, my friend Jess is actually gonna come over and do my hair and makeup so I can be as extra as possible. So I think we're gonna do Gibson girl hair. So I don't know if a hat would fit on it, but we'll have Gibson girl hair, and then I'm gonna do like a Rococo 2007 John Galliano makeup look. So that's the plan. Do you think it's a bit much for a picnic for 4? Who knows? Good morning. Welcome back. Last night, couple things. I got grumpy and tired, first of all. I realized that I had made sponge fingers wrong. They should not have fat in them because they're gonna like dry up and they'll just hold up a lot better. So I remade them. I followed a tutorial by a nice Irish woman, but I was so tired that I couldn't figure out what her accent was for a while, and I'm Scottish. But we're gonna unmold this. I don't have confidence in it. It's wiggling around, so I'm not even gonna, I had a hot water bath prepped, but I'm not even gonna use it. What I'm curious about is if it can hold its shape or if it just schloops. If it schloops, I don't know what I'm gonna do, so. Oh, well, oh. It worked. So that is exactly what we wanted. That's funny that all the seeds, I should have strained it, all the seeds went to the bottom. I guess I'm gonna kind of dry it off and then I'm gonna put it on here. I'm just gonna let it sit in the fridge like this to see if it wiggles its way out or anything. But this worked, so that means that we can ice the lady fingers. I didn't want to ice them before in case it didn't work, because I'd be really sad. This is royal icing. In the book, it says to make a fondant, which is to boil and whip and roll white sugar. But that was just because there wasn't confectioner's sugar. So I just made royal icing because it's also gonna dry. I think that's all I need. I also made some American buttercream to do some more of the decorative piping. So I'm just gonna set this aside because I'm gonna dye the rest of this. I don't know if my biscuits will fit. Oh, yeah, they're good. Quite beautiful. Okay. I'm gonna put these in the freezer to try to get them to set. Okay, so according to this, turn out smartly on a glass stand. The fingers will then readily, I think I'm supposed to do, the fingers will readily adhere. They're too tall. I made them too tall. It's very good. Okay. That's more like it. I'm in a bit of a rush because an internet friend has offered to do my hair and makeup and trade a cake for it. I'm very grateful. I'm gonna pipe these and then I'm gonna turn my AC on and stop filming so that maybe something can happen. But this needs to go back in the fridge in the meantime. Green, pink, and orange. Okay, and then we're supposed to put 2 little dots of pink. It is so humid that royal icing isn't drying. This is bonkers. I really hope this works because I don't think I can just cheat and put toothpicks in a jelly, but I have trimmed the biscuits so they're flat on the bottom. We're gonna be able to hide that with the frosting that I'm gonna put around the side, as pictured. So I have moistened this further, and it said that they should just stick on easily. That kind of sticks, but what I'm gonna do for extra insurance is just drizzle some of the royal icing that I made, because it will dry very firm, like a gingerbread house, right? This will just kind of help our guys. Okay, that's the first one. It looks like we might make it. I definitely cut a bunch of these way too short. Put that in the back of the photos. Oh, we're gonna do it. We are gonna make it. I mean, it looks bonkers, but it looks a good bonkers. Now we decorate.
So I did it. It didn't fall apart yet. We'll see how it gets to the park. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go get ready. I will see you at the park.
The picnic was absolutely lovely. It was hot as hell, but that was fine. We had a little photo shoot before my friends arrived, and then we ate all the goodies. The Charlotte was not as gross as I thought it was going to be. Still not amazing, but the watercress sandwiches ended up the winner. They were amazing, highly recommend. People at the park were terrified of me, so I loved that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you want more like it. I do a lot of cakes. Subscribe, okay? Okay, bye-bye.